Now we are going to learn about exception handling using Python. So before going to learn exception handling, what is an exception? Exception is an error which happens during the execution time. So whenever we execute our code, it will get an error. So that error we can call it as an exception. So for example, we have a various types of errors we may get while execution of the code. So some of the exceptions are value error. So value error. Or I have a keyboard interrupt error. Keyboard interrupt error. And next we have a EOF error, end of file error, etc. So like this, we have a n number of errors, and each and error will be handled by using the except keyword, and thereafter we need to use a error name. So actually, what is exception? So how we can correlate this exception and how we can write code by using the Python from the real world mode and as well as our programming mode. So I am a programmer and I know well coding. So whenever I am writing code, I don't want to get any kind of error. I need to take all the precautions to avoid all the errors. I will write well defined code. Still, compilation gets successful, but still I will get errors while execution of the code. I may have some doubt whether I may get error or not. So when you have a doubt, then you need to use an exception handling. So this exception handling can be achieved by using try except block. So try block, we need to write some code, some statements, and except block you need to write some statements, and we have an else block. Here also you can write some statements, and we have a finally block. It's a finally some statements. So now you may get one doubt. You are a developer and you know well coding and each and everything. Then how do you get errors? And why do you have some kind of doubt in your mind whether you will get error or not? These errors can be happen in the both the ways. Either it may be error from the user mode or it may be error from the developer mode. So how user can make mistakes while executing the code? For example, I have written the code called read a two numbers to summation of the two numbers. So two numbers in the format of integer. I said clear information to the user stating that enter a number. But unfortunately, user entered a number as A. A is not a number. It's not a number. That means automatically it's a type error. So data type error. It's a data type error. So this is what we can call it as a exception from the user. And how developer can do mistake. So let's take, so I am reading some file and the file should be available on the source location, on the relative location. But unfortunately, I did not save that file on the relative location. So let's take how developer can make errors, clear mistakes. So let's take I want to read a file called hi.txt and this file should be available on the source location. Unfortunately, accidentally or unfortunately, I did not save this file hi.txt. That we can call it as a developer mistake. And whenever you have a developer mistake, that error file not found error. That error we can call it as a file not found error. So like this, we have an n number of errors. So whenever I have this kind of doubt, if I make some mistake or I may doing some mistake, then I need to handle that error by using this try except else finally block. Or else you can use the keyword called raise keyword. So raise keyword is useful to raise the exception, and whenever you use the raise keyword, it will block all the further code. It will just raise the exception and it will close the program. And this thing what will happen? It will try first code. If code does not contain any kind of mistake, it will execute the try block. If it contains any kind of mistake or error, it will handle the error in the except block. Clear? So this try and except. Fine. What is else? When except block
block is not executed, then only else block will get executed. Try will execute and else block will execute. And apart from this except or else block, finally will get executes automatically. Whatever blocks will get executes, then finally will get executes. We will see in the example how these things will work. So it's a kind of precaution. Before writing code, I may think that I may get some kind of errors. So that's where I am writing this try except block. So precaution. So same way we will take the precautions in our real time also. So what kind of precautions we will take? If weather looks some cloudy, we will carry umbrella while going out. That's a precaution. I don't know whether rain comes or not, but I will carry the umbrella for my safety. That's kind of a precaution. While at the night time, we'll store some candles at our home. If power goes, switch off. If power cut down, then candles will. So we can use the candles. That's we can call it as a precaution kind of thing. Such a way we need to take a precautions to handle our exceptions. So exceptions are value error, keyboard interrupt error, end of file error, file not found error, and type error. Such kind of n number of exceptions we have. So more than 20 plus exceptions are there in our Python programming language. Now we'll see some of the exceptions. How can we handle exceptions by using programming language called Python?
Now we'll see one example how to handle multiple errors using Python. So let's take my task is that read two numbers from user, read two numbers, and I need to do sum of these numbers and division of this number. So whenever I am doing, this is my requirement. I want to write this code by using the exception. So first I will write try block. Try a one number integer input, enter a number, and I say b integer input, enter another number. So two numbers added, and I want to print summation of these two numbers and division of these two numbers. So I say print sum is comma a plus b, summation, and next print division is comma a divided by b. These are the two outputs. If user enters valid inputs for these two numbers, then I will not get any kind of error. If user makes mistakes, he may make mistakes, then I need to handle that error. So for that I need to write an except block. Except. So what kind of mistake user may enter? User may enter instead of integer any data type. So for that I need to write a value error. So value error, inside this block I need to write a print statement. Print invalid inputs. So that's okay. Value error, invalid inputs. Any kind of different data types enter data you enter, then you will get value error. Or else user may enter a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 0. When a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 0, division is not possible with the 0. So for that I have one more error card. I need to handle one more exception. Except 0 division error. 0 division error. I say print you can't divide with a 0. So these are the two exceptions I have handled for your example purpose. So this is how we can handle the exception. If everything is right, that means A is equal to, so whatever the A is equal to number and B is equal to number, and these two things will exclude properly. If something is wrong, then these things will exclude, either value error or zero division error. So I will check what are the inputs for this program and what is the output from this program. So case 1. So first case, if A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 4, A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 4, then output will be 6 and division output will be 0.5. So it's output for the sum and it's output for the division. So it's no errors, so directly it will exclude the try block. If my input A is equal to 2, let's take A is equal to E. So E is a, what is E here? It's a character, so it's not a number. Then directly it will give value error. So that means invalid inputs. Invalid inputs. So this is a one case, invalid input. If I say A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 0, so sum is equal to 4, its output for the sum, and output for the division, you can't divide with the 0. You can't divide with the 0 because it can't divide. So this is what happens with the three different flavors. So first flavor, the first example inputs are both are valid, then it will exclude both the statements. Here input is invalid, then it will give invalid inputs. Here inputs are valid, but here I can't divide with the 0. So something happens. 4 plus 0, it's possible. It's 4 plus 0, you will get 4. But here I can't divide with the 0. This is how exception will work. We'll see one more example, how we can use the else statement and finally statement in the exception block. Now we'll see how to handle exceptions by using the else statement and finally statement, and when they can get excludes. So first, same program, I will take the previous program. I will create a try block. Try A is equal to int input enter number. Enter a number. B is equal to int inputs enter another number. Enter another number. So now I will write print A plus B and print A divided by B. A plus B, print A divided by B. And I will handle some exceptions. Except zero division error. Zero division error. Print you can't divide with 0. And I will have one more error called value error. Except value error. Print invalid input. Now after these two except blocks, try and except blocks, what we need to do, I need to add a else block here. So now else block, else I say print try executed successfully. Try executed and after else I will have finally block. Finally, I say print print thank you. So this is our code. Now what will happen whenever I execute this code? So first it will go to the try block. Try, it will read A and B. If both the things are valid inputs. I say if I execute A, B with a number called 4 and 2, these are my inputs. 4 and 2. Then what is my output? Your output is 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 and 4 by 2 is equal to 2.02, and next I don't want to go into this except blocks because both the inputs are good and both the inputs are valid, so I don't no need to catch zero division error and as well as except value error. So if these two errors are not catched, then automatically else block will get executes. So that means try executed. And next it will go to the finally block. Then it will get thank you. So this is one scenario. One input, output. So this is input and output. One scenario. And next scenario, I may have input as, so let's say 2 and B. 2 and B. So if you read 2 valid, B is a B value as a character B. This one input character B. So here sum is not possible and division also not possible. Why it's not possible? Value error. Value is an invalid value. Then it will go to the block called except block value error. That is invalid inputs. Invalid input. And when it's an invalid input, then it will ignore the else statement. Once except block is executed, then else statement will not get executed. Now I directly go to the finally block saying that thank you. Thank you. So this is scenario number 2. Input 2. Clear? And now I will take one more scenario of input. So let's say my inputs are 4 and 0. 4 and 0. 4 is a number and 0 also number, then sum will possible, then I will get output as a 4. But A divided by B is not possible because it's a 0 division error. So I will get you can't divide with a 0. You can't divide with a 0. Divide with a 0. You can't divide with 0. And once this exception is caught, whenever we caught this exception, then else block will get ignored. Else will get ignored and directly it will go to the thank you. Thank you. This is what happens, scenario number 3. So what things you need to remember here? If try only executes, try gets successful, then except blocks will get ignored, else block will execute and finally will get execute. If try successful. If try gets failure, then except block will execute either one of these two, and when except is executes, then else will ignore. Then directly finally will execute. So that means finally will get executes in any case. Finally will get executes in any case. But else will get executes when try executes. When try is successful, then only else block will go. Otherwise, else will ignore. But finally, will get executed in any condition. Either it's a else executed or not, or exception handled or not, or whatever it may be the situation. Finally, will get executed. No issues about finally. But when else block will get executed? Whenever try block is executed successfully, then only code will go to the else block. Otherwise, code will go to the either one of these two exceptions. This is how we can use try, except and else finally block. You can add more exceptions in between try and else, but you can have only one try in your program, only one else, only one finally block in your try and finally this entire scenario. But exceptions, you can have multiple exceptions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your wish. After completion of all exceptions, you need to have only one else and you need to have only one finally block. This is how you can handle exceptions. Clear? So, this is all about exception handling.